Binge.
Hey everybody, welcome back for a brand new video about that show that has almost as many spin-offs as the MCU, The Walking Dead. Warning, beyond this point there are spoilers for people who are not up to date in the Walking Dead TV universe as well as the comic books. In this video, we're going to give you our binge breakdown of the brand new sneak peek just released for the first installment of the extra long 24 episode season 11 of The Walking Dead. We will also be breaking down the other 3 sneak peeks that have been released along with the new teaser trailer for season 11A. Finally, we want to go over the first look we've been given at Layla Robbins as the governor of the Commonwealth and wonder which governor will be the most infamous by the end of the series. First, let's take a look at the sneak peek just released in the Carol-centric finale episode of the Walking Dead Origins series. The scene was originally very dark, so we've taken the liberty of brightening it up a bit so we can see what we're breaking down here. The very first shot shows off a pulley system, and we can already tell the scene is going to have some sort of MacGyver-level ingenuity. After that, we see Carol surrounded by walkers near an old chopper with an AR, trying to air the place out. The next moment, we see what the pulley system was attached to, this rope and carabiner, which Carol is clearly expecting. The next sequence of shots lets us know that Daryl is watching Carol from above, and it seems the plan is to hoist her up and away from the danger. As Carol runs out of bullets, Daryl gives her an assist. Then it seems like the ex-queen will get some uplifting support until she calls an audible on the play. Big surprise, Carol. She sees a box of military MREs, or meals ready to eat, and goes for the grand prize. Daryl realizes what she's doing and protects her from above. As starvation is a real threat in Season 11A, at least according to the episode and season descriptions we covered in our last video, this box of rations does seem crucial, even more so than the new guns the survivors seem to have found. The only question here is, are the rations good to eat? Stored in 75-degree temperatures, they would only be good for about 5 years. If stored in cooler conditions, like with air conditioning, they can last for over 10 years. So is this a fully functioning underground shelter running on renewable energy? Because if not, then those rations are bad. Hopefully this time the survivors can catch a break and a decent meal. As Carol is almost finished loading up her bag, a walker is about to get to her when we get our first real casualty of Season 11A. Daryl's twin blades. He's been sporting them for a while now, and it's a shame to waste these knives on 2 random walkers. But hey, at least there will be a Carol-Daryl spinoff, right? After we get a Maggie-looking worried shot, we see that there are at least 3 choppers here in this bunker, and probably more. Could this location be tied to the CRM or one of the larger communities? Or is this a Reaper outpost? Carol finally gets to the escape rope and does her best version of The Walking Dead meets Mission Impossible. The group helps Carol up, and we finally get that shot we needed of Jerry. That's where the real spinoff should be. Carol steadies up, and then we find out she saved Daryl's twins to fight another day. And that's a wrap on the scene. Although it was very exciting, we don't get too much in the way of story details here. None of the sneak peeks have been very revealing, but they have gone a long way in teasing a fair amount of trouble and some action, at least in the first episode. Now let's take a look at the other 3 sneak peeks in the order they were released. The first one starts off on a high note as Daryl and Dog wander around a super creepy room where a briefcase of cash is completely useless. Daryl looks over some disturbing artwork and imagery that's similar to what we've seen in some of the promos, and we wonder if this is connected to the Reapers or a different storyline entirely. This scene ends on Daryl looking at artwork, really riveting. The second advanced look at the series starts off with a shot filled with bodies wrapped in plastic bags, like Dexter came back with a vengeance. We see a large team that includes Negan, Elijah, Cole, Daryl, Gabe, Maggie, Alden, and Red Shirt Hilltop resident, aka C. Thomas Howell, along with some others, all wandering around in the dark with flashlights. A silent but deadly walker surprises them, and Maggie seems to have knowledge of what happened here as she says these plastic wrap people died during the fall. How does she know that? We know from the episode synopsis that this is a mission Maggie proposed, so she must have some knowledge of whatever this location is.
Yo, wait!
Negan brings up a good point that the group could be walking into a bad situation. As the other bodies start to come to life, Maggie strengthens her resolve and opts to order everyone to do a bunch of work, although it's clear at least some of the group wonders if Negan is right as the scene ends. The final sneak peek we want to cover was released following Negan's chapter of Origins and starts with another ominous phrase written on some wall. We see what appears to be the same group as the previous sneak peek wandering through a dark area. Everyone gets disturbed by a very foreboding sounding eerie noise and Alden writes it off as old pipes. He's probably gonna die. Negan once again expresses concern about the path they're on, and Father Gabriel kind of arrogantly believes God would talk to him before anyone else. After his last few low down and dirty kills, that's pretty debatable. Negan comes back with some actual facts as he deduces the location they're in is plagued by regular floods due to its waterline mark. Makes sense. Daryl shuts down Negan, who in turn starts to respond until Daryl gets fed up. The funny thing about this situation is that Negan may be right, but Daryl would go to great lengths to not listen to his advice.
Daryl.
According to episode 2's description, it seems the team will end up following Negan, at least for a few story beats. What do you think? Should Negan ever be allowed to lead any groups of survivors again? Would the power corrupt him? Negan silently accepts Daryl's rejection as the group continues down their path and the sneak peek ends. Now let's take a look at the short trailer that was recently released for Season 11A titled Turn Around, which references one of Negan's lines from the sneak peeks. The teaser starts with Eugene having a black sack pulled from off of his head. Is he regretting his choice to trust Stephanie? We don't think so. Here's the dialogue that plays while Eugene is unmasked.
We are auditors for the Commonwealth.
As Eugene responds to the auditors from the Commonwealth, we get shots of everyone on Team Eugene before the edit lands on Princess, who looks towards Mercer. Will the same romantic relationship that occurred between these two in the comics happen here as well? Or will they have a more rocky start? After Princess has her moment with Mercer, Eugene is brought down by a stormtrooper at Mercer's feet. But who is the woman behind Eugene? Is this the auditor or possibly Stephanie? We've seen this moment teased before with Eugene being held with his two friends in the background. The next shot seems old at first, but when you start to look, you realize that this wide shot of Reapers is wider than it's ever been, showing us more hanging bodies, which seems to be one of their signature moves. Why all the torture, guys? Next, Maggie describes her encounter with the Reapers. During the end of Maggie's line, we see who we believe to be Leah as a Reaper with Dog. If that's not Leah, then Dog has some serious explaining to do. The promo then cuts to a shot of walkers rolling up on Alexandria as Aaron talks to someone in an extended moment from the first trailer.
Alexandria needs us. You're leaving to fight ghosts.
While Aaron gives his guilt trip, we literally see Carol leaving the group as they deal with a crisis. Nice going, Carol. After a random shot of Alpha's mask, which is weird because we're not even sure how it could possibly have been recovered, we get Daryl in the tunnels shushing everyone. Come on, Daryl, nobody likes a shusher. After a moment of tension, we get to see Rosita kick some Walker ass before we see some more repeat shots of Carol, Connie, and Judith. The next few shots are also repeats from the trailer until we get a fresh one of Maggie throwing a scythe. Maggie must have really practiced her knife throwing game while she was gone. Following that moment, we get another repeat of a Reaper and then Negan's turn around line from the sneak peek.
That is God telling us to turn around.
The trailer then flashes between these shots of Lance Hornsby and a squad of stormtroopers and this deep-fried walker. The last shot was so quick we almost missed it. This appears to be Maggie facing someone holding a bloody crowbar. Could this scene mirror the one in which Maggie came to kill Negan with a crowbar? We think that might be the case, but probably not. Could this be a Reaper or someone else? Could this be an injured Alden who's on the verge of becoming a walker, as there was this photo of him with a crowbar released to promote Season 11? After that, the title card comes in while we're kept wondering what's coming in this apocalyptic endgame for our favorite and most hated survivors. Finally, we briefly wanted to cover this image of Layla Robbins as the governor of the Commonwealth. Although we haven't seen any footage of her in action yet, this actress does seem to have a knack for playing shady characters with a lot of depth and layers. Hopefully this storyline won't disappoint and we will get to see the governor do some truly ruthless things. Hopefully she will be a lot darker than she was in the comics. In the books, the governor was more of a classist dictator than a brutal murderer. But as we all know, the show and the comics can depict two completely different worlds. What do you think? Will this governor outdo the first governor? Will Rick have to come back in the very end to shut her down? Thanks so much for watching our videos, everyone. As always, we're on the lookout for any new promos or insider interviews to help prove or disprove all the theories out there about our favorite show where the zombies used to be able to jump fences, The Walking Dead. Please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Binge Rampage. Click that notifications bell for our channel so you can see our next video as soon as it comes out. And don't forget to subscribe.
Look, man, all I'm saying is...
Man, it ain't working. You trying to run shit? Keep moving. Come on. Go.